to the channel, M-Cube Network. This is the WilHemi Show. We're sitting here at the precipice of the possible rebirth of Dodge and Ram, maybe even Chrysler, or the possible hiatus, as far as a lot like what happened when in 1979, I can't remember the year, but there was a time in recent history where Chrysler disappeared. I mean, king of the muscle cars, king of the fashion. I mean, Mopar was dominating the automotive scene, the automotive industry. I mean, multiple cars, big pretty colors. Everybody wanted them. They were unique. They were not just, rebadged rentals, rebadged basic family cars. I mean, these things were designed to be special, right? Your Challengers, your Chargers, your Barracudas, your Cudas, everything about Mopar back then was hot. And then they went bankrupt. And there was a long period all throughout the 80s where there was nothing good from my Mopar. It was purely K cars and minivans. That's it. A couple of trucks. I mean, you got the LRT. That was nice. They gave a little hot package to Aspens and Valaris and Furies. They did a little something here and there, but it was just nothing. It's pretty much a dead time in Mopar history, all the way up until 2005, when the Hemi gets reborn in an LX platform car, right? Well, we sitting at the same place again, where Mopar is going away for a little while. At least it seems that way. I mean, something could happen and change it. We could skip that hiatus, but there are a few things lurking about in the warehouses in Dearborn that might put a change on things. I'm going to take you back, if you've been around long enough, 2004. There was nothing going on but the Viper. Viper was out, right? Viper was what, 94? Excuse my brain, 1992. Viper was doing its thing. It was a hot little motor, hot little car. Unattainable by the common man. It just wasn't nothing you could do, right? Along comes Mopar, Dodge, with the Ram SRT-10. They stuffed the dang Viper motor in a common everyday pickup truck. That was the hotness. It was a way for the common man to get his hands on some exotic treat. You know what I'm saying? So that was a wonderful time. I mean, you had the neon SRT-4, which was the boy racer thing. It was hot. It was hot. Those cars were killing everybody. I think they lied about the horsepower of the neons. But the neons were, grown man's really ain't buying a neon SRT-4. It was cool, but that SRT-10, when it dropped, was super hot. And it's something, I wanted, couldn't get. It was beyond my reach at the time, but it left a mark on the auto industry. I mean, it was fast. I mean, you talking 500 horsepower in a pickup truck. It was good looking. First time you ever had 22s factory on a vehicle. The Viper reps in 22. I mean, there was like 21s on the Viper and in the back. And the Prowler, I think the Prowler had 22s in the back, 17s in the front, something weird like that. But I don't count the Prowler, okay? That's not what we're talking about. Although that existed also, but it wasn't hot. It had no motor in it, just a V6. It looked good. But this SRT-10 Ram truck was the lick. It was what everybody wanted. Chevy couldn't mess with it. Ford couldn't mess with it. I mean, the Lightning, it was just untouchable. It set Mopar on fire. It set the SRT badge on fire, and honestly. And then along, a couple years later, we get the Charger, Challenger, 300, Magnum, you know, and the SRT line started to grow, and it was just hot. Everybody was rushing them, right? Okay, but beyond that, that SRT-10 Ram, now it came in two forms. You got the two-door, two-seat, stick, okay, with the Viper motor, no nannies whatsoever, no ESP, no, I think it had anti-lock brakes, but there was no computer to stop you from doing anything burnout-wise. And then you had the four-door SRT-10 Ram, same motor, automatic only. And that was the one you could have if you had people, you had a family to carry with you, you know, it was fine. It wasn't as fast, but it was fine. And it was still an SRT-10. Those things still draw down big respect to this day. Here we sit, 2024, and we have another truck. Now, yes, we had the 21 TRX, right? Super truck, ungodly, crazy truck. 700 and what, 2 horsepower? But yo, incredible truck. 100 grand. Still kind of out of the range of anybody buying a truck for street purposes, but it's an off-road truck. It's big and juicy, and it's very expensive. It's horrible on gas. It's a highly impractical truck, okay? You don't want to do a road trip in a T-Rex. It's comfortable, yes. You don't want to drive that thing on those tires. And, I mean, you're going to pay more in gas than you're going to pay on hotels. You're going to pay more in gas than you're going to pay when you get there and eat. The fuel is just, it's crippling, okay? The TRX is not usable. It's a marvel. It's the Concorde, right? It's beautiful. It's awesome. It's insane. But you're never going to make money on it. It's just not anything anybody can deal with. Okay, even rich guys give them back. There's a ton of them on the used market right now. In comes the RHO. Now, I did a video on RHO and the new Charger, and I was talking about their practicality, but it needs to be revisited. The Ram RHO TRX body, which is fantastic, 4 doors, comfort, room, all the latest tech, and a twin turbo V6. Okay, that seems like, and what you gonna do with that? Hold up. If you match, now see, I don't have my hands, I can't get my hands on a Ram SRT-10 today. I can't get my hands on an RHO today, but I can get my hands on Google. Now, if we look at these two vehicles side by side, head to head, right? Ram SRT-10. Let's compare these two, because the RHO, in my opinion, is the real successor to the Ram SRT-10. Ram SRT-10, $45,000 to $52,000. Let's say $52,000 new. In 2004, right? That was pretty expensive. That was pretty expensive for a truck. Trucks hadn't gone crazy yet. I mean, they weren't $100,000 for a truck now, average, right? I have no idea how much this damn Ram RHO is going to cost. I'm sure it's going to be somewhere in the 70s, 80s, right? Which is way better than 100, even though it's only $30,000. And at them stratospheric levels, you might not think it matters that much. That's about $300 a month, okay? So we're talking $70,000, $80,000. Okay, that's reasonable. That's doable in today's numbers, right? Curb weight on the SRT-10, 2,500 pounds. Now, I don't know if they don't differentiate between the 2-door and the 4-door, but I'm pretty sure the 4-door was heavier than that. We're talking, 48 kilograms. We're talking 5,600 pounds, right? Ram RHO don't have any specs on the weight on that truck, because like I said, they're not out yet. We can't get our hands on one yet. They're still having some problems with that motor. So We'll just keep it moving. I'm sure it's going to be heavy. It's going to be right there along them lines of 56, probably 6,000, a little over 6,000 pounds, right? A lot of tech, a lot of new regulations, but still, we're on the same lines here. Now, Ram SRT-10, gas mileage, 11 city, 13 highway. Okay, impractical truck. It was pretty impractical. Even though it was attainable, it wasn't practical, especially that two-door. Now, they're claiming, Stellantis, you know, as far as you can throw them, they're claiming mileage 15 city, 21 highway. Now, I have a little bit of experience driving a behemoth truck with a twin turbo V6 in it, and the mileage was impressive, even with the power. Now, I didn't have 500. It was in the 400 club, but 500 in a twin turbo V6, I mean, it's doable. I think 15, 21 is doable. I do. Let's see what else we got here. How are we gonna compare them? Top speed was limited, I think, at 155. You know, 500 horsepower gets you to 200 miles an hour generally, but you're driving a brick, so who could tell? We don't have numbers on the top speed of the RHO yet. Let's see, max acceleration. Let's look at our 0 to 60. We're getting, where did I see that? Anyway, the 0 to 60 in the Ram SRT-10 was 5.9. 4.9. I'm sorry, it was 4.9 in the stick. The big truck was almost 6 seconds. I do remember that. The four-door was about 6 seconds. They're claiming 0 to 60 run in 4.6 for the RHO. Okay, now the big number, horsepower, 500 horsepower, 525 torque for the SRT-10. 500, 525. RHO, 540 horse, 521 pound-feet of torque. I mean, you're talking about two different engines entirely. You're talking about a big-ass V10, and you're talking about a twin-turbo V6. Now, yes, you're not going to get that instant neck-snapping torque of a V10 or a V8, but you're going to get pull that feels way different, and it feels way better than V8 torque. Because V8 torque comes on early and strong, and then it flatlines. Twin-turbo V6 torque, twin-turbo torque, generally speaking, is a thing of, it's sexual. It's hard to explain it, but the pull, the constant just pull, I mean, it keeps pulling. The more you step on it, it's really crazy. I mean, it's incredibly strong, and it's a good feeling thing, especially once you get on that highway. That's where you really feel it. Drag racing, a twin turbo V6, it's gonna be all, you know, on the big end where you're gonna win those races. You're not gonna snatch out the hole doing a wheelie for the most part, but they are tunable, and they are ready. The bottom ends on any turbo motor you get from the factory, the bottom end is going to be bulletproof. It's going to be solid, strong, mostly forged, or that hybrid forged cast type deal, whatever. It's going to be bulletproof. So you're dealing with, if they can get this motor straight, this Hurricane motor, if they can get it reliable, strong, and tunable, and if they can give you a decent transmission and a decent rear end, you'll have a winner in the RHO as far as succeeding the Ram SRT-10 and still being remotely practical. And now, mind you, the RHO is getting the 540 horse version. You can, right now, you can grab a regular Ram 1500 with the 510. And I mean, dude, I've seen people search high and low for a Ram SRT-10 for that two-door stick with 500 horsepower, because it's the bee's knees, right? Dude, those things are expensive, and to work on, man, if you can get your hands on one that's in good shape, bravo. But if you have to work on that Viper motor and you have to source parts for that Viper motor, good luck. You're going to be paying. And the four-door really don't offer that amount of performance anyway. Go grab you a Ram. Go grab you a 1500. And dude, I still haven't seen it done. I mean, I guess it's over with now, so I can let you in on a little secret, but I originally had planned to grab a TRX. Now, I'm not an off-road guy. I never have really done off-roading in a truck, right? I've ridden along on an off-road trip here and there, but I have never driven off-road. I mean, it looks like fun, I'm sure, and I'm sure the TRX is well capable. I was going to grab a TRX, cut the legs off of that bitch. I mean, yank out all the suspension. I mean, I would have probably wanted to hook up with Extensive out in Houston, have them make me an air ride, a sport air ride system that could bring that bad boy down with the set. Of course, I'd do a brake upgrade and, I mean, make it into a street truck. That was always my thing. I wanted to see that TRX as the real replacement for the SRT-10. But they made it off-road, and I mean, they got so much nice suspension on that off-road. It'd be a shame to rip it out, right? So, I mean, I'm sure I'll rip it out and I'll sell it to somebody. Make sure it has another life. Put the airbag system on there. I would probably have to be a dual airbag system. You know, one high, tall airbag just to get the height, and one small airbag to control have a good spring rate for sport driving, right? And so I was going to do that, grab another set of wheels, street wheels, you know, 24s possibly, something like that, 23s or 24s with a nice aggressive street tire on it, and have a dual personality truck. Basically, if I wanted to go off-roading, fire up the bags, put the big knobbies back on, go off-roading and still have a good time. And then when I'm ready to hit the streets, like I do, because I'm a street guy, take the knobbies off, put them in the garage, put the 23s on there, bring it down, like pretty much deflate the big bags, bring it down on the small bags. You know, I figure one on top of the other. Bring it down on the small bags and have a nice bomb-ass looking, I mean, the wide bodies on the TRX, it just beats the snot out of the regular 1500. And I mean, it's just so much better looking. But yeah, do that and then have a dual purpose truck. I was gonna call it the Tyrant. That was gonna be my thing. I just never really got around to it, outlaying all that money for it. It didn't happen. And I mean, you know, I'm sure I've never seen anybody do it. I've never seen anybody turn that TRX into a street truck, which is what your boy wanted to do. That was just one of the many projects that I have in my brain. You know, they all can't get done, but it is what it is. But I'm telling you, the RHO, don't sleep on it. It will be snatched up and it will be street trucked out by someone. I guarantee you. I mean, you could grab a 1500 and do the same thing. You really could. The 1500 is a beautiful truck. The new 1500 body is beautiful. And I mean, it's straight. It's not wide bodied out. It's all color key, which is something else I would do to the TRX. I can't stand that plastic black crap on there. But I would color key the whole thing. Or, like, well, anyway, back to what I was saying about the 1500. Grab your 1500 with that 510. Turn it up. I mean, grab a transmission from a smacked up TRX. Grab the rear end from a smacked up TRX. Put it on the street, man, and kill the game. Because, I mean, Chevy's had their street truck. Ford had their street truck. They gave it up. Everybody went off-road now, you know, and I think it would be an amazing thing to have a hot street truck one more time. And that RHO is promising. It's promising. Now I could do that. That just might happen. It just might happen. It might be MQ's next project. But I will just keep this Hemi